Hey boys and girls, let's review some double-digit subtraction without regrouping this week and really work hard on learning how to do that and reviewing what we learned last week in order to have that stuck in our brain really good. In second grade, you're going to be using this skill a lot. So I want to make sure that's why we're spending a good amount of time on these activities, double-digit subtraction and double-digit addition, to make sure that you know how to do this. This is a really big math concept that we learn in first grade, so I want to make sure you got it. I want to talk for a second about the poster that you got last week. You can pull this back out if you need to, and just remind you that in a subtraction, double-digit subtraction problem, you always want to start on the right side, which is the ones column, and then move to the other side, the tens column. If you always start on the right, you'll be right. Don't forget that. I also want to remind you that the right side of the problem is always the side that's farthest away from the sign. Addition or subtraction, it's the farthest away. So that would be this side, way over here. This side is close to it. But if you go over here, long way. In your double-digit subtraction this week, your line or your little railroad track has already been drawn for you. Okay, this week you should be able to use your fingers or counters to complete these assignments. You're going to have a front page and a back page to work on. Once you get started on this, boys and girls, this really shouldn't take you much time at all, because simple subtraction is something we've been doing since the very beginning of school. That was our very first math chapter, was simple subtraction and addition. So this should be easy for you. You will be able to subtract these columns starting with the one side, then moving to the 10 side and writing the answer under that side on the bottom. If you want to continue to draw your little railroad track down into the answer area, you may do that. And remember, boys and girls, to get an adult to check your work just so that you make sure that you are doing it correctly. Okay? One or two things that I want to remind you about this are that you can use your fingers for all of these activities. That is perfectly fine. You can also use your counters. Anything you can find to count at your house. It could be pennies, it could be cereal, it could be beans, it could be your crayons that I gave you. Anything that you want to use for counters. Now, you're going to need at least 40. Nope, you're going to need more than that. You're going to need a lot of them, because I see one here that says 98. So you're going to need a lot of them if you decide to use counters. But if you only do it side by side, you can do it with your hands. So however you want to do it is fine. Remember, Miss Wilson always says, however you can figure out the answer and then it makes the most sense to you, you do it that way. Okay? You do it that way. It doesn't matter to me how you get the right answer as long as you get the right answer. Okay? So if you need counters, or you can use your fingers for all the problems this week, that is just fine. A lot of you probably have already a visual picture of some of these things in your mind, like 9 take away 1. You can visualize 9, 1, and you got 8. You can think about that in your mind. You don't actually have to use your hands. You don't have to use counters. You can do that as well if that works for you. Just remember to take your time. Let me say that again. Take your time. Slow down. Don't rush through this because you think it might be easy, because all the numbers you're going to be subtracting on the 1 side and the 10 side are going to be simple. Okay? Take your time, because a lot of times when we rush is when we mess up. The other thing I want you to remember to do is to be neat. Let me show you this paper again. Boys and girls, this paper has a lot of questions on it. And if you write your numbers this big, you're going to get very confused and your paper is going to be very messy. You're also not going to know whether the number goes on this side, or with this problem or that problem. So you're going to have to write like a second grader. You're going to have to shrink it down. Let me give you a good example. Take your finger and look at it. Do you see this top little section of your finger? That top little section should be as big as you write the number. Can you do that for me? Can you remember that little rule? The top part of your little finger, and see, my finger's bigger because I'm an adult. Your finger's going to be smaller because you're a kid. You're going to take that and you're going to make your number that big. And if you do that, it will fit perfectly under the 10 side and the 1 side, and it won't be dragging down into the next problem or over to the left or the right, and it won't confuse you. So remember to write small and keep those numbers under the correct column lined up neatly. In my opinion, that's the biggest mistake that we make, is that we get to going real fast and we get sloppy and we get the numbers not in the right spots, and so we don't know what the answer is. So just remember to do that. I know that you're going to do a great job on your double digit subtraction this week. If you have questions or need help, you can always reach out to me at lwilson@tcss.net. Get your parents to email me and I will help you as much as I can. Talk to you later. Bye.